Good evening, good morning, good day, and good night. Welcome to Positive Rate. I am your host, Willie Canuck. Got a special guest today. It's Digital Flight Deck. Hi, Digital. How you doing?
Good day and good night. Welcome to...
Oops.
Doing good. Yeah, I had a little bit of feedback there. No, doing good, Willie. Thanks for having me.
Not bad. I don't need to hear myself talking. With a 20-second delay. Perfect. No, thanks for joining us. I mean, it's great to have you along. And I can see Sean Dale and Corporate Pilot Dad already jumping into the chat as well. Hi, guys. How you doing? Great to have you. Of course, we've got two members of the Positive Rate team. We've got Kevin, Mighty Mackerel. How you doing, Kev?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Can't complain. Well, I can. I'm kind of ill, so I do apologize ahead of time if I'm going to cough my brains out at some point. I'll try to mute it. You guys will hear it, but hopefully nobody else will. So, anyway, it's just the way it goes. And also with us today, two weeks on the trot. Nick, how you doing? Thank you.
That is a shock, isn't it? It's a shock.
It
Yes,
is,
I'm good.
yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Great to have you along. So we're going back to the old haunts this time with Digital. Now, Kev, do you want to maybe just give a bit of an introduction on the flight plan and the collaboration that we've done with Digital Flight Deck?
Yeah, so Digital gave the list of airports anyways. So we're starting at Muskoka. We're carrying on to Haliburton, which is going to follow the lakes and the main road there. We're going to carry on north, following over the lakes again. Some lovely scenery by the looks of things and the sounds of things according to Digital. Going on to Mattawa, and we're going to follow the river then down past seeing some interesting sights and some interesting scenery. And we're going to carry on down the river into Pembroke.
Sounds fantastic. And of course, a lot of this is over Algonquin Park, I believe. Beautiful area of Ontario. Now, I will warn you ahead of time, it is very flat, but it is scenic. And trust me, when you're actually there on the ground in the forest, you can't tell the difference anyway, so it's just quite thick. The Jayhawks just jumped on. He says, bonjour! Only spectating today, no worries, Jayhawk. This would be a perfect flight for you. I would have loved it. What a shame. Anyway, so I've got the I've got the Blue Jay Warrior, Piper, Just Flight Piper Warrior, courtesy of Paintgenics, and Nick, you are flying in the classic Turbo Aero livery today.
I am indeed.
And if I jump over to Kevin, he's flying a 172, and now Digital is there, but we're getting one of these kind of weird bugs with the multiplayer, so hopefully that kind of corrects
I'm in the
itself.
Wonder Woman stealth aircraft mode.
That's it. Yeah. Are you wearing the Wonder Woman underwear, though? That's the question. So, at the very least, you'll be flying with us, and you'll be narrating along with us and sharing some of the stories and whatnot, so it's fine. We're going to make the best of it.
I'm sure I'll pop in at some point.
Yeah, hopefully. Corporate Pilot Dad says, where are you and at what server? Well, we are on North Europe server. And the... actually, look right at the bottom, Tim. There's the flight plan there. It's Charlie Yankee Quebec Alpha, which is... Is this Muskoka? I can't remember.
This is Muskoka, yeah.
Excuse me, that's the first cough of the night. Many to come. Anyway, so I'm going to bring up the sim noises there. Jayhawk says, that's not what I thought after my tea. Digital in a Wonder Woman outfit. Yeah, why not? Right, so let's start our engines then. I'm going to get the fuel on, I believe it is. Yeah, we'll get that mixture right up to full. No props to worry about on the Warrior. Turn on the avionics, and we'll just do a quick recce on the flight plan here, and hopefully we're not going to get any bugs like we did last time, but I think it was something to do with the beaver. It was very strange, because it's been working fine on everything else, but as soon as I try to use the GPS on the beaver, it seems to go a bit strange. Excuse me. So yeah, we're going to take off from Muskoka, head up north, and then northeast a bit. And we're going to do some nice tours over, now, I'm not sure, what river is that? Do you know offhand, Digital?
keep going. We'll get back to you on that. Let me just pull up a little bit more advanced chart here.
No worries.
Map.
But there's many rivers in this area of Ontario as well. If I pull it out, you can see there's quite a few tributaries. Tons of lakes. Not very large lakes, but some of them are considerable size. I mean, big enough to do water skiing and fishing and all that other kind of stuff if you want. But just absolutely tons of lakes, lots of trees. Although we are in the wintertime, so it's not going to be particularly green, but lots of trees, lots of bears, lots of raccoons, chipmunks, squirrels, various wildlife. I think you'll get the occasional moose around here as well, Digital, won't you?
A lot. Bears.
Yeah, a lot of black
much
bears.
all the wildlife.
Yeah.
So that's the South Branch Muskoka River.
Okay, there you go. So that's South Branch Muskoka River, right? So,
Running out of Spence Lake, and then it runs eastwards along the highway there.
yeah. Fair enough. So we're going to cruise along there, and I believe there's a stop in here at some point.
Yeah, we're heading over to Haliburton, the Stanhope Airport.
Stanhope and Useful, yeah. Now, Haliburton I know very well. We used to go to a campsite not far from Minden, which is just down the road.
Yes, that's
And,
right.
I don't know if you've had the pleasure of Lake Kashagawigamog.
No, I haven't, but given the number of lakes up there, it's not
There's
surprising.
tons of them. We did have friends that lived on Gull Lake, I think.
I've heard of
Which
Gull
is-
Lake, yeah.
it's around that area as well. But I mean, just if you just have a look around, there are tons of them. And I mean, don't let the size deceive you. Some of these are pretty big. I mean, you're talking about a couple miles long. It doesn't look like much, but they are quite big. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna hit Haliburton due north. You know, we're definitely getting into bush territory here.
Straight over Algonquin Park.
All the way over Algonquin Park, and just see if I can back it out. So it's just a big. It's a provincial reserve or provincial national park as opposed to a national one. But it is huge. It's an absolutely enormous park. If you go look it on Google, you'll see how big it is.
Yeah. I got some nice detail for it once we're there.
Excellent.
Some information.
Looking forward to that. And Tim says, I see it now. I'm firing up the sim. Oh, fantastic. Planning to fly along for the first leg at least. Excellent. Looking forward to have you. So we're going to head all the way up now, up to Mattawa. Now, I've never been this far north around this area anyway. I don't know. Is Mattawa reachable by road?
It is limited road, but it is reachable.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna definitely see some interesting forest and rivers up there, and we're gonna head again towards the east, finally finishing in Pembroke as we drop down a little bit to the south. And yeah, we'll see how we
From
go.
Mattawa, we'll be following the Ottawa River.
That's it. So there. So yeah, hopefully everyone's going to enjoy that. Tim, hopefully you're very, very close to spawning up. Would suggest to everyone that we start our engines, if you haven't already done so.
Yeah, up and ready to go.
There we go. Okay. I'll change that over to GPS. Sean Dale coming in with a £3 donation. Thank you very much, mate. You know what? It's been a while. I forgot how to dance. I'm gonna have to think about this. No, we'll definitely do something. I'll tell you what. I won't do it just now. Actually, I might as well do it just now. What the heck? What are we gonna do? We're gonna have to change all the music here. We'll get something back in. So I need some. Unless you're okay with me dancing to rock music. That's probably easier. It might look a bit funky with the disco, but anyway, huge thanks, Sean. It does help with the monthly fees, of which we do have a few of them. So we'll do some soulful dancing. How's that? We'll try that.
unfortunately, I'm not hearing any music for you to dance to, but you're sure rocking it out.
No worries. So yeah, that's a huge thank you to Sean Dale for that. Thanks for that, mate. I really appreciate it. What a way to kick off the stream! It just puts me in a fantastic mood too. I love that. Right. And there's dancing rod courtesy of Digital Flight Deck. I think it's going to be a meme night. I got that feeling. Anyway, let's zoom in. Now, which does anyone have a preference runway? I think we might as well just take off from the bottom here because that's where we're closest to.
Yeah, take off to the north. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, I will line up on the threshold if everyone wants to join me, and we'll kick this pig. As we say our brief hellos and goodbyes to Muskoka Airport.
So Muskoka is an interesting one. It's kind of the gateway to cottage country up here. A lot of the rich and famous have cottages.
Yes,
and you'll find even some of the more popular ones that come up an awful lot. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn are regulars up here. They spend almost every summer, and people have reported it's very easy to spot them in the towns and the shops and stuff up here. A lot of actors and movie stars and other rich folk all have properties up here on the lakes. So you get a lot of corporate jets sitting in here at Muskoka. And it's also an IFR capable airport controlled out of Toronto. There is no tower here. There's remote IFR controlling here.
That I never knew. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That I never knew. J-Hawk says, what a bonus. Digital in his outfit and Willie dancing in the mind boggles. Fair enough. Corporate Pilot Dad, are you still joining us? I don't know if he's managed to get up onto the sim or not.
Yeah, I see him.
You see him?
Yeah, he's right there on the web.
Alright, cool. We'll just take a quick look around. Oh, Sean Dale we got on as well. Perfect. Oh, there's Tim. Yep. Corporate Pilot Dad, TPD. TCPD, I should say. And I guess you'll be around some... Yeah, Digital, you're still invisible, but... Oh well.
I'm up here 5 o'clock.
Okay, you'll be our silent partner or our invisible partner. All right, one stage of flaps, and let's roll it out.
What's our cruise?
Don't need a lot of height, so although we are high up anyway, so I'd probably see about 2,000 feet.
Okay.
So I can't remember. Is it the Canadian Shield? We're over around here, Digital.
Yeah, we're at the bottom edge of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just naturally high.
It is.
One of the reasons I can't drill for oil around here. There's nothing strong or long enough.
It's hundreds and thousands of feet of granite straight down.
Yeah.
So basically, once you get about roughly an hour north of Toronto, you're into wilderness, and kind of like we like to say, it's just rocks, water, and trees up here.
That's not Trans-Canada Highway, boys, is it?
No, it runs to the north of us. It's actually Highway 17 up here, so it loops.
Oh, 17, yeah. Been a while. I don't think that existed when I was a kid, or at least not that big. Okay. Right. Let's try and get ourselves on plan here. So, still climbing for 2,000.
So if you're ever in this part of the world in the fall, and you can do a sightseeing flight up here, absolutely do it. It is nothing but reds, golds, oranges from horizon to horizon.
Yeah, absolutely. And The last time I was up this far, it was on a canoe trip.
Yeah, very popular to do.
Which I didn't really get affected by mosquitoes towards the end. I seemed to develop an immunity to them somehow. But I had one of the guys in our excursion was he came away quite poorly with it, and I get something like this. So there's all these myths about ways you can get rid of mosquitoes. So repellent is definitely one thing. DEET will solve the problem for quite a few things.
Yeah.
But
mosquitoes aren't the only thing up here, though. Black flies.
Oh, black flies, horse flies, deer flies as well.
Deer flies are bad.
Oh, I hate them. Yeah, all sorts of things that will come bite you, and they'll bite you through jeans. They'll bite you through lawn chairs. You know.
Absolutely.
And all you. And the funny thing is, so there's different kind of deterrents. Some people get these kind of blue lights, the zappers, to attract the insects. Some people get the citronelle candles, which I don't think work at all. And then you have your various repellents. But the thing is, there's 17 different species of mosquito in Ontario. Something like that. And there's not one thing that gets rid of all of them. So it all kind of depends on your luck and what happens, whatever happens to be the heaviest population in the area.
Realistically, it's just something you put up with.
It is, yeah, very much so.
So the airport we're going to has a COPA chapter, the Canadian Owners and Pilots Association chapter. And back when I was flying, every year in the fall, they would put on a pancake breakfast on a Sunday.
Oh,
and,
that'd be great.
Very early October. So you'd
That'd
be
be
flying
great.
up here, you'd have all the colors out, it'd be looking fantastic. You'd fly in, have your big breakfast, see all kinds of
Excellent.
fantastic airplanes, and then head home.
Excellent. Leith's just dropped in. He says, Hi, Leith, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I that was one of the things I really missed about Ontario, especially in the wintertime. You could go to, there's a lot of different places that did maple syrup tasting. You could go into the woods, and they had like the old style kettle where they're blowing off the sap and making the sugar, making the syrup. Absolutely amazing. And if you've had maple syrup and you like it, nothing tastes as good as a warm cup of maple syrup. They give it like in a little sampler, wouldn't they? And,
well, here's one for you, Willie. Do you remember when they used to get the snow out on the tables, and then they'd pour the maple syrup over the snow and let it solidify, and you'd have the maple syrup candies?
That's it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Fabulous stuff.
Yeah, fantastic. Good memories. And
excellent fishing up here, by the way, if you're into fishing.
Absolutely. I mean, you're starting to see some of the breadth and depth of all the different lakes around here. It's an absolute playground for all sorts of activity. Either if you love hiking or you love water. Canoeing. As I mentioned, a lot of the larger lakes you'll get water skiing and waterboarding and things like that. Wind sailing used to be very popular. I don't know if it's still as big a deal as it used to be.
On the bigger lakes, absolutely. But actually, Tim would probably remember this a little bit. Doing your pilot's licenses and stuff up in Canada, we have to do a separate night rating just because so much of what we do is in the dark, given where we are latitude-wise. But flying up in this area at night, it's amazing how much your hearing improves, and you can hear every little ting and ding in the airplanes. Because when you're trained to always be looking down for emergency landing spots, and you're used to farmland everywhere and picking out these areas. Oh, I could land here, I could land here, I could land here. Up here, it's either trees, rocks, or lakes, and you're listening to the slightest cough, the slightest hiccup, and you're getting paranoid in the airplanes. It's quite the feeling.
Yeah, I can kind of see your point now. Sean says, I love maple syrup. Not good with type 1 diabetes. Yep. As you know, Sean, my son has it. And it's something he misses. But I mean, we can do it on occasion as long as you you carb for it, but you're right. It's a one way to bump the blood sugar sky high if you're not careful. But you have it special on your birthday, though. Oh, good. That's good. And Corp Pile Dad says, I think that is caused by fear. It happens over water as well. There you go, Digital.
Yeah, absolutely. And given how much of Canada is like this, it's almost a constant state you're in when you're flying up here. But you can't beat the views.
No, not at all. And just... Even as I look down right now, I can see there's quite a few cottages and settlements pretty much everywhere down along the sides of the lakes. Absolutely stunning.
I took a friend, he had a cottage on Georgian Bay, and I took him up in a Super Cub once. We went flying up over, and he was looking down at his cottage on the island, and took some photos. And he's got the photos now mounted in the cottage of his place from the air, from 2,000 feet up. Yeah,
nice.
It was just an amazing experience. He said, just seeing what it looks like from the air.
Yeah, it's nothing quite like it. I've got a similar photo, not in that kind of fashion, of. You came down to visit us, obviously, last time you were over, and I got a photo of the town and the village. Without getting too specific, if you know what I mean. I got a photo of the town and the village while I was coming into Edinburgh on a Flybe -8, and it was right after a hard night of frost and light snow. So all the hills in the area were completely white.
Because you got some dramatic hills there. That would have been pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and I got a great photo of them, both. Like you can see both towns, and since I brought it back, I've had probably around 20-30 people ask me for a copy of that so they could print it out because they loved it that much.
Nice.
And it was just one of these rare occasions too, where it was the sun was just hitting things in the right way, and I want to say it was probably an evening flight if I was coming home. I know that, but yeah, it was just absolutely perfect. So yeah, it's always nice to and a bit surreal, I think, to see things from a different perspective when you're up in the air.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I enjoyed about flying was just getting that view and that sensation of it from the air and what it looks like and the feeling of not only what you're seeing, but the distances involved, and you get a bigger feeling of your place and where you are. It's pretty cool. Just looking at where we are right now.
Just here, yet another endless river down there.
Yeah, we're passing. We just passed Wood Lake. That was the big lake we passed.
Yep.
We're coming up towards Clear Lake. I think we're just flying around or over that at the moment. Actually, I just passed over Clear Lake.
Okay.
And you're just about to cross into the bottom southeast corner of Big Wind Lake Provincial Park.
All right. Okay. Take a look out the window. Yeah, there's just tons and tons of lakes up here. Absolutely amazing. Mazda Base. Afternoon Willie says, Mazda, how are you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I forget. It's easy to forget how beautiful this area is, and as I mentioned, a lot of people ask about Canada, and I mentioned Ontario, and they say, "Oh, has it got lots of mountains?" No. Is it scenic though? Yeah, but they say, "Is it scenic?" I said, "It's incredibly scenic, just not in a way you would normally think about."
It's a very rugged scenery. it's not the typical thing that you expect. It's due to the Canadian Shield and everything, and then that extends right up into the Arctic. It's got a very outdoorsy, rugged type of beauty to it, which is pretty cool to go out. Like you said, canoe trips, hiking trips, camping trips. There's always a place to go. You're not limited in choice at all.
And some people do have winterized cottages as well. They brave some pretty hefty snow actually to come up in the wintertime.
They do. I was looking at some stats, and Algonquin Park averages 87 inches a year.
It doesn't surprise me. And that, which reminds me of another sport that I absolutely miss and I love, and I used to do quite a bit of it, was cross-country skiing. We did a lot of endurance trekking, cross-country skis. You used to take your food, and like a backpack with food and all that kind of thing with you. And it was all sorts of places you could go, and it was always lots of fun. And then, but it was always great to get back to a place that had a roaring fire and a hot drink, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, it can get rather cold out here in the winter.
Yes, it can.
Especially when you don't have to go too far north before you really feel you're in the wilderness.
Yep, and it wasn't unusual to see minus 30 degrees around Grey County, so I can just imagine it'll be about the same up here.
Yep, easily.
Mazda Bay says, Oz Flight Sim linked you. Figured I'd come by and visit. That is fantastic, Mazda. Thank you for coming by. I really do appreciate it. Oz is a great guy. It's just a shame with our show time on Thursday nights. It's everybody in Australia is asleep, so they don't often see it. But we do try to do the odd Saturday morning stream, which seems to work better for some people. Not so much for Tim, because it's like 5 o'clock in the morning for him. And the Corporal Pilot that says another awesome place in Canada is Kenora, in the Lake of the Woods area. Yeah, I've not had a lot of familiarity with Kenora. I don't know if you have.
I did a trip out to the Rockies years ago in a 172 RG, and on the way back, flying from Manitoba to Kenora, where we overnighted in Kenora. And that change going from the eastern edge of the prairies, 3,000 foot elevation, flat fields, farm country, and seeing it start to change, get more wooded in the lakes. And then by the time you're into Kenora, Lake of the Woods, lakes everywhere and all that, it's amazing the terrain change over that flight.
Yeah. So what if thinking about Ontario, then what would you say is one of your favorite places?
In Ontario? Out by Kingston, north there, Thousand Islands area.
I was going to say Thousand Islands. Is that what do they call it up there?
I just know it as the Thousand Islands, Kingston, Gananoque area. That whole chunk in there.
Where everybody buys a boat for the first time and gets completely and utterly lost because all the islands look the same.
It's really, once you just head north of the St. Lawrence Seaway at that point, it's just spectacular lake country out there.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite place in Ontario, yeah.
I can hear it playing around me, but I can't see where it is. Oh, it might be you.
No, I'm way back. I'm kind of back of the pack right now.
Okay.
Even though you're next, anyways, we're behind you. Tim is to your left, I'm to your right.
Maybe that's what it is then.
Probably.
We'll get a drone out.
The Rockies were interesting.
I think
Flying
it's Tim.
along again, it's all just prairies, and then you see these mountains off, and it's a solid wall of mountain as you come up to it. Quite the transition.
Amazing Lieber says, Happy New Year! Happy belated New Year to you as well, Lieber. How are you doing?
They're going to have the airport coming up, and it's going to, it's not too far away. It's about 5 or 6 miles away now. It's an east-west type of runway.
Those lakes is coming up, I think we'll get there pretty quick.
Yeah, if you go, you probably follow the south shore of the lake and go into like a left downwind.
Let's have a look.
Cheers.
Yeah, you can see that. Should be able to go straight in then.
Airport elevation is. What is airport elevation? 1,066 feet. Or you can go straight in. Winds are pretty minimal.
1066. Is that what you said? The Battle of Hastings.
Yes. On
Look at
continent,
that.
but yes, that is right.
Here's a good sizable lake. A lot of cottages along here. You can see. And we're not talking about cheap cottages either. It's some £1 million or $1 million.
No.
Yeah.
These are the very expensive cottages.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
What would they call cottages? What we call mansions. Okie dokie.
You can see the airport there.
I can indeed. So, get everything set up. Amazing Lieber says, I haven't seen you for a year. Yes, indeed. Crashed your airplane. Or are you flying with us? Or have you crashed it somewhere else? And Sean says, Corporal Palda is by you, Willie, and Positive Read. Okay.
You're going straight in on whatever that is, 04, I think.
Yeah, looks like Tim's going to dive bomb it as well, so I might as well just follow him in.
Righto.
The elevation again?
What was that, Kev?
What was the elevation again?
10,
It's over 1,000
1066.
Cool.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, we're on top of the Canadian Shield here, so.
There.
Oh, Tim's done a go around.
Corporate pilot dad's doing an air show.
What's the field in the narrow? Yeah. I'm the only one that went for a pattern.
Pattern schmatter.
Oh, off the end of the runway. Misjudged that a bit.
See that?
I'm heading down to Granny's house. I'll see you guys later. Hey, Granny. How you doing?
A little fast there.
You got any pot roast left, Granny? I'll be right there. See if I can catch you guys coming in. Oh, you guys are too fast. Too fast.
What am I doing?
That's right. Nick's gonna join me at Granny's house as well. Oh, see a special red airplane. Who's that? That's Sean. There you go. Special red turbo there. I don't know where Tim went. Oh, he's coming in from the other direction, I think.
That's me, it's a...
Oh, that's you.
This is behind me, yeah.
Oh no, he's swinging around for another run.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the definition of an unstable approach.
Yeah. Mazda says you're gonna need some new tires after that landing, Willie. Yeah, absolutely. I was technically on asphalt, but I just went a bit further than I intended to.
There's another really great airport if you ever get a chance to fly in there. It's the Killarney Airport up on the north shore of Georgian Bay, and there's a little fishery there that fishes out.
I've actually been there in person, but I've never flown into it.
Yeah, we used to fly up there.
Wait, we got a runway incursion. We got a runway incursion. Oh no! Of course, Tim's obviously going to ace the landing in his turbo. Okie doke. no time like the present, so we'll do some quick fuel checks here and get back in the air. And I think we'll just go straight back out the way we came in. Should be okay there, I think. Plenty of fuel, plenty of fuel. Alright, we'll do a bit of grass cutting to get out of here first.
Where are we going? Are we taking off from here, or...?
Yeah, I think we'll just
Okay,
take straight out. Wait for Kev to come up and join us, and then if you guys just want to spin around where you are, and I'll follow you guys out. Don't wait for me. I feel like following somebody for this leg rather than leading it. Sean says I use LRM landing rate monitor. Some landings seem hard and you get 10 feet per minute, but when you think you've landed softly, it says -300. Yeah, no. I think there's you gotta take it with a grain of salt, Shauna. I'm not entirely convinced that any of the tools out there right now really know what the actual true landing rate is. There's something dodgy in there for me.
Given the altitude variations you see with a lot of the reporting stuff and the connecting software, I would say that there's an issue with getting anything back and forth between the sim and third party at the moment.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just cough off mic there for a second. Okay, everybody, you just want to head straight out. That's probably why I was coming in a bit hot. I did my flaps. So. Shut says, sorry, too many meds. Yeah, I know how you feel, bud. Been living on Lemsip for pretty much the last 3 days.
So from here we're going to be heading straight north, and we're going to be in about 20 or 10 miles, we're going to cross over into Algonquin Park proper.
Okay.
We're basically going to fly right up the center of it to the north side.
Fantastic. Oh, getting a bit of glare out of that sun right now. That's for sure.
Bit of sunshine.
Just about hit that 2,000 mark, so I'll settle there. And kick our course back in. Sean going by on the starboard side there. I keep forgetting I've actually got, I don't know if it cuts the glare or not, but it might do. Don't need it just now. Off we go. So I'm just gonna cough myself silly again.
Yeah.
Let's see what we're about.
So a few little lakes we're coming up to: Balt Lake, Claxon Lake, Lispy Lake, and the big one up ahead, which is Kinesis Lake.
Beautiful.
And just the rolling hills of the Shield here. As you can
Yeah,
see,
this
just
is, I was gonna say,
to the horizon.
we say there's no terrain in Ontario, but there is. It does start to get a bit kind of hilly and bumpy as you get further north.
And this is all, what do they say, scoured by the glaciers from the last ice age when the glaciers came south.
Yeah.
So it took all the soft sand and soil away and just left the rocks.
Boy, does it look spectacular now. Obviously, some considerations in the summertime. It does get very hot. Can push up to the high 30s quite often in July, and there is sometimes forest fire risk. So, depending on the area you have, you might have campfire bans, that kind of thing.
And there's always the thing about if something happens, you can imagine how far away from any type of response, emergency response out here. So you go out here with that in mind, that you're hours, if not days, away from any type of emergency help if something were to happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this is this big lake here we're coming up to is Kinesis Lake.
Okay.
Lots of little bays and islands and stuff on it.
Oh yeah. Probably the old golf course here and there.
Yeah. Although you can see some of the cabins that are on these lakes. Again, wealthy people having their second homes up here.
Yeah, look at that. It's stunning.
I just saw a corporate pilot that said he did that low and over because he was checking for bears on the runway.
Actually, that's a good point. I don't even know if that's if there's any kind of animal population around here, but.
Oh yeah, full.
No, I mean in the sim.
Oh, in the sim. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know there's tons of black bears.
Black bears, even grizzlies. Well, not too many grizzlies. A lot of black bears.
Yeah.
In Ontario. Brown bears.
Yeah. And raccoons the size of large dogs. Sean says slightly similar to whales not being near any ambulance if it's in a rural area where it can be 30 to 40 minutes away from help. Yeah. And some parts of Scotland as well.
And the problem with Wales is, I mean, you're 5 minutes direct line in the next valley, but it's 40 minutes by road to go around.
Yeah.
And that's the same problem you have up here. A lot of this is not road accessible. You've got to be either flown in, or if you are trailing it in, it takes hours on these gravel back trails.
Nick says in London. What do you mean by that, Nick?
Traffic.
Traffic. And just
traffic.
One-way streets.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, no, like with here, like I think it's just response times because like it takes forever to get an ambulance out, and yes, it's like this is so small. No, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I think the roads aren't quite clever around here, are they, Kev?
Well, they're not too bad. Like you can do 150 on the main roads into Cork, like.
I'm just going to take a quick look at the route. So we're heading, yeah, this is pretty much straight north.
So flying, this is, you might have heard of this one, Willie. This is Havelock Lake. It's another very famous fishing lake. You're actually coming right up behind me right now. I don't know if you can see me at all. Yeah.
Yes, I can see your tag. That's about it, but that's fine. But then that's all I can see of Nick at the moment as well. But he's too far ahead.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a good look at this Havelock Lake then. Oh yeah, and you can really see the train starting to increase in altitude. Actually,
it is. You might want to consider going up to maybe 3,000.
Yeah. I think you're right, sir.
Not trimmed by some.
And off to the left here, you can see the opening out into a bigger lake area. That is Kawagama Lake. Fairly large lake in this area.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big one.
The
No,
one
you
with
just-
3 islands in the middle of it.
Yeah, off to the left there, it's huge
Yeah, I see it.
compared to the rest of them. Yeah,
That's a few miles long, that one.
yeah.
So I'm gonna have to find some meds. So what we'll do is to get to the next airport. I'm gonna take about a 3-minute break. Go get something to drink, something to take
Yep.
for my cough.
Can I suggest something in the 15 to 18-year-old range?
That is after the stream, but yes, I'm going to go do that. And it will be a hot toddy night, I think, tonight.
Yeah, prescription from Digital, Dr.
Yeah.
Digital.
Now, Tim, that's a good question. Tim, do you know what a hot toddy is? Have you ever had one? Look straight up. Oh, okay. Straight up. Oh, there's Tim.
Oh, what are you doing
What
all the way
height
up there?
You see 11,000 feet.
11,000 feet, yeah.
He's looking down on us minions. That's what he's doing. Is it brandy? Sean says. No, whiskey. Traditionally whiskey. But I have heard of people that use brandy. But
You
certainly,
can use whatever you want. It's just to try to forget the fact that you're sick and not care.
well, so usually with hot toddy I put in cloves. I make mine slightly different. So cloves, sugar, maple syrup. What else do I chuck in there? A bit of cinnamon. Bit of nutmeg for that matter. And then your whiskey and your hot
really
water. Yep. Just it's just a brew, absolute brew. And if you've done it right after you drink it, you start sweating like amazing, like crazy. Just sweating. And then after that, you feel great. Feel like $1 million for a little while.
So, Nick, when I was last over, my last night I stayed down in the Salisbury area, and I stayed at the inn that James May from Top Gear owns.
Oh, right.
And partook in his Asian parsnip gin, which you can't get here in Canada.
Ooh.
If you can get your hands on some, get it.
Asian
It's
parsnip gin.
Fantastic. Yeah. Asian spices with a little bit of parsnip in it.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic. I had a number of double gin and tonics that night.
I'm making a note of that right now.
You hear the papers up.
Yep.
Super.
Google.
So I'll let you know when we cross into Algonquin Park.
Okie doke. I'm just seeing if I can find Tim in the drone.
Up.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's got his own shop. Oh.
He's right above me now.
American mustard.
That's his other one, yeah. Well, I didn't like that one as much. I very much
mustard.
preferred the Asian parsnip.
Oh, there's a Navy strength one. Is that?
There is. It's a little bit stronger.
Yeah, I can see that by the price. Yep.
But the Asian parsnip, I really did enjoy that one.
Asian parsnip. I must admit, it's not something that sounds appealing.
It doesn't, but it's actually got a fantastic taste in the gin and tonics.
Oh, it's a gin.
It's a gin.
Oh, right. I thought you said it was a whiskey. I was like, oh.
No.
No.
Yeah, gin. I would give it a shot for a gin. Yeah. Everyone now look at ginsway.com.
Right, I have bookmarked the page.
Yeah, this is we're definitely pushing into the remote side of things here. I think the cottages will be thinning out now.
Yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Excuse me. It's just, you know, I knew this would be interesting, but I forgot how interesting. It's just awesome.
Very scenic.
If you can just imagine, Kev, like I don't think I've been this far north, but there's some guys, they just take a canoe and just use the tributaries and the lakes and wind their way up north as far as they can go without running out of food.
I did that when I was 15. Went on a 2-week canoe trip through Algonquin Park.
Yeah, amazing. Was it point to point, or did you kind of go up to a point and then come back?
We were all over the place, headed out rivers, streams, kayaking, portaging, the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
We didn't come out for 2 weeks.
Awesome. And did you have one arm stronger than the other?
No. It worked out pretty well. Was rather an interesting experience at that age, going away and doing something like that for that amount of time.
For sure. Everyone's flying a faster plane than me. They're all wheeling.
Behind you. I'm just.
Are you behind me? Okay.
You guys are like motoring ahead. I'm just poking along.
Dead 100 knots.
110's my best speed, so.
So the park, we're not in the park where we are now, but the park does extend southwards to our east. So the bottom, we've passed like the bottom tip of the park, but we're outside of it for a little bit longer as we head north. But I'm just passing over like the last main east-west highway south of the park. You guys have already passed over that.
You can see them right there.
And the thing about Algonquin Park is there's no real roads inside it. So everything's, the couple roads that do go up to it or like go along the perimeter.
Yeah.
There's one or two very minor dirt type roads that go in, or service roads, but other than that, you're either walking in, flying in, or canoeing in. That's your only choices.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Corporal Paldette says he's getting a true airspeed of 170. Up at 11,000 though. Yeah. You could probably fly back and forth between Muskoka and Mattawa before I actually get to Mattawa.
Yeah, probably.
And Sean says 100 knots for me at the back.
I'm in a 4-knot wind down here.
Yeah.
But I'm on.
We got 117 knots.
A few clouds that ain't gonna change.
Yeah, I know it.
I've got 117 knots at the moment. So. It does make you want to go fishing, doesn't it?
Yeah, we saw it next year.
Makes me want to check whether my life jacket's underneath my seat.
So Algonquin Park was formed in 1893.
Yep.
So it's like the oldest park in oldest provincial park in Canada.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In its size, it is 7,653 square kilometers, which is 2,955 square miles in size. And like I said, you can count on one hand the number of roads that go into it.
Yep.
So it is a very pristine wilderness areas.
Yep. It's very alive with all sorts of wildlife.
Yeah. Heavy on tourism. As I mentioned, the annual snowfall for the park is 87 inches. Annual rainfall is about 23 inches. And the average temperatures in July and August are 37 degrees
Yeah.
Celsius.
Sounds about right.
The low the average low in January, February is minus 18.
Well, that's not too bad, actually.
The record low, just looking at the numbers here, was minus 42.
Sounds about right.
That was in January, the average temperature is 25.5 degrees. The record high was 37.2.
Okay, yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, because it's fairly far up north, so.
The other thing I forgot to mention, one of the most amazing things about going to a place like this in the summer, in particular, are the thunderstorms are epic.
Need some very, very heavy, intense storms up here. Yeah, that's for sure.
How far away?
So there's one highway that runs east to west through the park, Highway 60. It's kind of like the main way to go east to west up in this part of the woods, as it were.
Okay.
And it's a well-known area for running into moose in your car. Been numerous accidents with people driving into a moose standing on the road.
The best story I ever
Chocolate?
heard. Chocolate Lisa. Best story I ever heard was a couple had rented an RV, one of the big recreational vehicles.
Yeah.
Up around that area, hit a moose, completely destroyed the front of the RV and rode off the engine, like they were completely stranded. The moose got up and walked away.
Yeah, their moose are pretty tough. We had one years ago when our wheeled amphibious armored personnel carriers were running between Petawawa and Meaford, two army bases in Ontario, and they use Highway 60. And they're amphibious, so they have a inch-thick armored plated bow plane on them.
Yep.
For when they go into water, so they're pretty well protected up front. And one of them hit a moose, and basically, little graphic warning here: split the moose in half.
Oh.
Because like a boat bow.
It is, yeah.
No damage to the vehicle, but split the moose in half.
Were they six-wheelers, or those the ones I'm thinking of?
Yeah, the six-wheeler. It was a cougar.
Yeah, I remember them very well. I don't think we use them as much anymore, do we?
No, they're gone.
Yeah.
We use the 8-wheel labs now. So we're up over, what do they call this lake? This is a Kawagama Lake.
Okay.
Fairly big, lots of little bays and inlets and bits and bobs on this one.
Yeah, very much so. It's what I find really interesting is you don't know really where the lakes and the rivers stop and start, because they all kind of interconnect with one another and just kind of carry on.
And ahead of us is Livingston Lake, with a place, Livingston Lake Lodge.
All right.
Which is one of those high-end, fly-in, fish for a week, fly-out lodges type of places.
So basically, like The Shining.
Yeah, except you go in by floatplane.
So it doesn't have like these creepy two twin girls that walk around harassing patrons or anything like that.
Oh, it could. Who knows? So we're still not into the park yet. It's like I said, it's running alongside us to the east.
Okay.
but we're still heading up, so we're not even up to the main center point of the park.
We are getting, however, close to Mattawa.
We are.
And I got no information in terms of what direction this airport faces, or...
Give me a second, and I will let you know.
So I'll probably do regardless, I'll probably do a left-hand circuit on this.
So it's a 600-foot elevation.
Yep.
2,000-foot runway. Runs roughly 21, whatever the opposite reciprocal is, 07 or whatever that is.
21.
04, 03.
03, yeah. Okay. That's right. I'm using my course needle as a reference. And then we'll take a couple minutes just to everyone get a coffee or something, and I'll get some medication. Corporate pilot dad says 3 what? Is that relevant to something we were just talking about? 3.
3, sure.
Yeah. Exactly, the mobile provider.
I'm confused.
3. No, do you not have 3 in the UK?
Oh, 3. Oh, he's talking about the runway.
Okay.
He's talking about the runway. 21 and 3 reciprocal. Dear, oh dear.
Gotta love time delays.
Yeah.
Always have a calculator for subtracting or adding 180. Always have that handy. What do you think I do behind the scenes? I did know a guy, and I'm sure some pilots do this anyway. Tim, maybe you might be one of them, but I did know a guy. He could do reciprocals in his head, like he just knew them. Like it wasn't even working them out. He just knew what the reciprocal was for the entire compass, which I was quite impressed with. Unfortunately, I just have to dash off for a second. Be right back, guys.
Yeah. The other thing that's really neat up here is that when the lakes freeze over, and a lot of these places are snowmobile trails that run through here, and they use the lakes as part of the system. So you come out of the woods and then you'd race down the lake as fast as you can, and you'd pop into the woods at the other end and go down the trail and then head onto another lake.
Just looking what Tim's saying. He says reciprocal headings are done without, though. After 30 years of being in aviation, they become
Road information. Yeah, you would just know.
You just know what it
like
is.
the reciprocal 180 right, or 270 90.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking more like if you said 161 or 174 or something like that. He would just like bang bang bang.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't even think about it. Like he just knew.
Well,
I suppose it's not really that hard
because I think. But yeah. It's math. Math is hard.
All right. Let's see. How far away are we now?
So we're got a bit to go.
16 odd miles. 16 plus 18 miles, roughly. About 10 minutes. So I guess apart from that, Digital, how was your Christmas?
It was pretty good. Did the family thing. It's kind of subdued because of what happened, but
Yeah.
other than that, it wasn't too bad. I'm looking forward to this year. It was nice last year getting to travel again, so
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
managed to do a few trips last year and got 2 or 3 planned for this year.
And we got Paul Vreeland has just subscribed. Paul, thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. Do check us out on Discord as well. And yeah, welcome to Positive Freight. Great to have you along. Sean says, when I was little, Mem would take me to darts, so I had to score. And I was amazing in school for mental arithmetic after that. Yeah, darts is actually a really good way to do that. And I'm terrible at trying to score darts, but I know a few guys that are pretty quick. They just know right away because they've seen everything. The only person I could see out there at the moment was Tim.
Behind you anyways, and Nick, I think, is catching up with me.
Yeah, according to my TCAS, there's 3 people behind me. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I see it.
Look in the wrong direction. Oh, there we go. I thought it was all loaded, just looking in the wrong piece of the sky.
Yeah, I've got you and my TCAS ahead of me, and someone ahead of you would say that is totally Sean.
Oh, Digital, I can see your lights.
Hey, there we go. Happy days. Time to celebrate. So yeah, so we've got a lot of... This would be amazing to fly over in the fall. Especially using... Because I use rec seasons for a lot of the foliage.
I do too, but I thought I had a winter
I'm
selection.
going to have to come and look at this and see what it looks like in the fall with all the colors.
I thought I had a set of winter selection, but I'm not sure. But yeah, fall would be
Looks like
fantastic.
yours, yeah.
I don't know if there's much snow out here at the moment. There hasn't been a lot. It's been fairly warm, even this far north.
There was no Muskoka anyways from I loaded with light over
Sorry, what was the question, Kev?
No, I was saying there was snow in Muskoka when I loaded with light weather. Then went away obviously when it changed to pure clouds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, mind you, it is meant to snow, yeah.
So this is kind of the northern end of Algonquin Park we're in now.
Okay.
I mean, you can't tell from the air. I mean, the whole area looks like this. It's just an arbitrary circle they've kind of drawn around it. But, yeah, it's a huge, huge area.
Absolutely stunning.
And the main river, so the Ottawa River up here, which is coming up, that's also the Quebec border.
Okay.
Where Quebec kind of comes up over the top of eastern Ontario.
All right, okay. Right. Is Mattawa, I'm just wondering if Mattawa is asphalt or grass.
Can't tell by the thing. I'm gonna say it's grass,
Okay.
and it's southeast or southwest of the town.
Okey doke. So I'm definitely gonna have to play a bit of hide and seek for this one, I think. Sean says some ski parks in Europe have been closed. Yeah, as there hasn't been much snow this year. After everything in the world past 2 years, it must hit the parks hard. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's funny because they were saying for Ontario it was supposed to be an incredibly snow-heavy winter and everything. We had one snowfall in November. We haven't had one since.
Oh, really?
And it's been the temperatures in the beginning of January were like 3 or 4 degrees during the day. So
Wow.
it's weird.
I mean, it's been a lot of snow up in Grey County. I know that they've had quite a bit of snow, but having said that, I don't know what it's like at the moment. But they get hit quite a lot from the lake effect stuff. So
Yeah, I know my my buddy up in Yellowknife. They've been snowmobiling for the past 3 months. So
as they do.
as they do up there. So you should start seeing the river up ahead.
It's a bit make cloud anyways.
Yeah, I think I can.
Yeah.
It's probably about another 4 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a rough guess.
And then that main highway that's running south of the river that you'll see, that's Highway 17. That's the Trans-Canada.
Oh, okay.
So unlike some people think, it's not the 401.
No, I know that.
This runs all the way up, and it goes up north of Lake Superior.
Yeah.
And loops up through Thunder Bay and out towards Manitoba.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it goes quite significantly north.
But yeah, so we are past halfway to the North Pole for the Northern Hemisphere as well. So we're up in that northern section. Oh, the other thing about Algonquin Park, which is kind of interesting, is it is the boundary between that line of longitude. It is or latitude. It is the boundary between northern and southern Ontario, and there's a physical change too, because the coniferous trees in the north and the deciduous trees in the south, that's kind of where they meet and blend. So there's an actual physical distinction in that area on the shift.
So from here we're actually getting more towards the tundra vegetation.
Yeah. We're shifting to the
I mean, it's definitely noticeable as I'm looking out the window. It's starting to look a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
Great place to build a highway, that's what I would think. Yeah, you can see the highway there. So that must be Highway 17 just off the nose there.
Yeah. And the town should be northeast of the airfield.
I would tend to think this is an asphalt runway. I'd be really, really surprised if it was grass.
It might be. It's showing it on the Navigraph as green, so that's why I was saying it was grass, but it could be asphalt. There's no chart for it, so I can't tell.
So did you say it was south of the town?
Southwest of the town.
So this side of the river?
This side of the river, you should see the town off to your right, just slightly further on.
It's grass, by the way. Turf, according to Sky Vector.
You can't trust your stuff, though. It's only on one page.
What's it?
You need 8 or 9 pages of information
to
be right.
Got another piper down there, a wild titan. I wonder who that is.
It's already long still.
Corporate pilot that
I
says
can see the tag. Yeah.
This side of the river and to the right of the small lake. Right, okay.
And he says it's grass as well, so.
It is grass, okay.
That's another page.
Oh, that's cool to see another warrior in there. Or not a warrior, an arrow, I should say. Presume. So if anybody is watching this on chat, tell us who Wild Titan is, so we can put the face to the tag. I take it Tim must be already around. He's circulating around that area.
Flying his P-28 like a fighter.
Might up.
Well, he doesn't get to have fun in airplanes anymore. That's why.
Oh, there's that. Yeah. Oh, it's a little strip in the trees there.
I can't see this. Is that? It looks like that might be the strip there.
A few buildings to my left.
It's to the right.
Trees.
It's to the right of that little lake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely a strip. Actually, it's reasonably spacious.
Yeah, it's big enough. I think I see it there. Right, not do we?
Okay. Well, I'll do a crosswind left-hander. How's that? Actually, I'm already. That's not the direction he said. Assuming I'm looking at the right thing.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, that's not it. You've flown past it.
No, I
It's
know.
kind of like between us at the moment, really.
I'm north of it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're looking at a construction yard or something.
Come toward me.
No, I know where it is.
Arrogant.
Peter is wild Titan.
Oh, hi Peter.
Hello.
Oh, Peter. Okay, perfect.
Are we
Thanks.
landing here?
Yes,
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
land because I got to. We're gonna take about a 3-minute break.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys are free to talk, but I've gotta get some water. I'm getting very dry.
Yeah, my gender tank's running out.
Oh, there's Sean. Flying overhead.
Jayhawk got a tickle out of that one. I didn't see Peter's landing. Did he stick it?
Looked like it
Didn't
anyway.
see.
Well, that was.
Looked
that was
like
Tim,
Tim was down.
Yeah, Tim made a nice landing anyway.
I'm coming in behind you, Willie. Don't go long. There's trees at the end.
Yeah. Try not to. Come on. Just trying to get right at the front of this.
Yeah. Don't hit the building.
Or the hill.
My wing is getting in the way.
I'll take that.
That'll do.
That's one for the books, I think. I'll roll on a bit, just in case anyone's behind me. Jayhawk,
Like good, Nick.
Nick running dry on gin? Never.
Oh, it is glass.
Okie dokie. Anyone left to catch coming in here? Let's see. Oh, we got you,
Kev.
Kev.
Down. There's Kevin.
I think everyone did relatively well on that strip, actually. Excellent.
Yeah, you can't see that little drop off at that end, so
Yeah, it
it's
is.
a little
and
unaware.
if I saw it, and then obviously, if you're going to go too low, you'll just nose right into it, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote. Okay, we're going to take a 3-minute break. Guys, feel free to talk to each other if you want. I will be right back. And
I'll be back in a sec myself.
We'll kick off the next leg, and we'll see how far we get. So we will be trying to finish on time tonight at 9, but hopefully we get through the whole thing in. We'll see what happens. I'll see you back here very soon.
Fuel.
What sort of fuel are we talking about now, Nick? Does it start with G or does it start with gas?
Yes, it's both actually, to be fair. Open the fridge, there we go. Oh. I managed to get some ready-made gin and tonic, you know the ones in the cans?
I heard about those ones, yes. I'm a big
Yes.
fan of that.
I got them. I saw the load reduce, so I bought a few cases.
Very good.
And I find it's a lot easier than mixing. And so, what's new in the flight sim world then, Kevin?
Not much. I haven't any news anyways. How about you?
No, I have spent the week reinstalling Windows and the
Christ.
sim. Yes. It's, and I'm still finding little bits that I need to do. But I spoke to Dark Fury, and obviously he suggested I got a new hard drive.
Right.
So I've got a new M.2.
Very good.
I've put that in, and I'm very impressed now.
Excellent. Yeah.
My frame rates are I think around what they should be for 3080 Ti.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah, no,
getting-
like I moved mine onto an SSD. Now it's already plugged in by USB, but my frame rates have improved a little bit. So
I'm hitting
Yeah.
about 50 FPS at the moment.
very good.
60 sitting here just now.
I'm definitely not getting that, but
And in the Phoenix, I'm getting about, and the PNDG, I'm getting about 30. So I mean, that's good. 'Cause
yeah.
that's at Heathrow.
Oh, that's very good. So.
Heathrow got an update yesterday,
I heard about that. Yeah.
and it's amazing. I
Is
don't
it?
know what they've done. Yep, I don't know what they've done, but my frame rates have gone up there as well.
That's excellent.
So, since that's my base airport, I'm very, it's been a good week.
Yeah. Very good. There's FPS updates for Cork as well, which is my base airport, obviously, and that improved as well. There was a while back now, obviously, before we did the flight with this, but
Yeah, I think this year's going to be the year I upgrade.
I'd say it's the same as well. I'm looking at new GPUs.
New GPU and new bigger primary SSD drive.
Yeah, I think.
I'm tempted to upgrade my GPU, but I'm not. I'm fighting against it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for the 4000.
No, I'm not going to go for that. I'm going to go for the 5000. But I'm not going to go for the 4000 because I think otherwise you're getting to this. If you set yourself a limit, say if you say right every 2 years or maybe even every 3 years, but to upgrade your GPU every year, I think could turn out to be expensive. And as I only upgraded last year, I'm thinking right, same as I do with my phone really. You know, I upgrade my phone every 2 years, and and you skip one model.
Well, and that's like when I built the system for the sim, I'm running that 2080 because the 3s were not coming out for another 2 months. So if I'm upgrading next year, I don't know when the 4000s are coming out.
They're out.
But
They're out.
Oh, they're out now?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So I may just go right for a 4000. My phone, I usually just run it until it dies. So I went from a 6 to a 10, and I've now got a 14 because I dropped my 10 and it shattered, which was not good.
I avoid the iPhones there.
And that's the only reason I upgraded it.
Yeah, I'm looking to upgrade my phone as well. I'm on a borrowed phone at the moment because my last one went for a swim.
You do an Android or Google or?
I have an Android. I avoid Apple because it's just a money laundering scheme.
All right, I'm back.
I just find that Apple, like iPhones, every time I see someone's iPhone, it's broken, it's cracked.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And I'm just thinking, why do you keep buying them? What's happening? Why do they break so easily? Why do the screens go?
They don't break so easily because I dropped mine a lot. It's just a weird way my last one fell that it landed flat on the screen and just shattered. But I've dropped them and they've been fine. So I don't know what people are doing with them.
Well, see, I'll show you my phone. So whenever I get a phone, the first thing I get is a screen guard.
Yeah.
And a nice thick case to it. So it's because I de-drop my phone all the time.
Hey Peter, you're welcome to join us anytime.
Yeah,
we're open for community.
No,
flights,
Peter.
So.
Yep. No, this is it's an open community flight, Peter. We're absolutely delighted that you're coming along with us. Actually.
Yeah, there's at the company.
On that note, I think I'm going to take off. I'll take the lead this time.
So we're going to be following the Ottawa River pretty much all the way to our destination.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll make some good time. If it, we'll see where we're at by the next one.
Well, the next one's the last one, so.
Oh, next one's the last one. Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, that's
our
worked out
destination.
perfectly then. What
Yeah,
a
I tried to time it within the parameters I was given, so.
You did a fantastic job. And Kevin had asked me, he says, well, I haven't done a test. Well, watch out for that building at the end, folks.
Just noticed you knocking the birds off the top of it. You could kind of leave it straight and just fly off the end of that cliff there if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think that's... aim to the left, guys.
Oh wow.
Well, Kevin was very detailed on your parameters for the flight, so it took a bit, but I managed to find this, which seems to be working fine. So,
Kev, could you throw Oh no, we've got Discord up there. Peter, did you join us in the community there? I don't know if anyone's mentioned that yet. But you're more than welcome to join the Discord server as well. Let's see, Sean taking off there.
That was a bit tight.
Synchronized takeoffs. Look at that. Perfect.
Nice.
I think should be safe around 2,000, Digital?
2,500.
Okay.
So the neat thing about this following the river as we head over the little town of Mattawa here is Quebec, the province of, is on the left. Ontario is on the right, and the river goes all the way down to the St. Lawrence, where it meets the U.S. border. So this is the actual hard separation between Ontario and Quebec.
Fantastic.
And there's a couple little interesting things I'll point out as we go along. But a lot of canoe trips on the Ottawa River here. Again, another popular space for outdoor activities.
Just to give everyone a bit of perspective here, if you were to get on, does the Trans-Canada Highway go through to Ottawa, yeah?
It runs just outside Ottawa, yeah.
So if you were to start driving from here now, going by the speed limit, how long would it take you to get to Ottawa?
4.5 hours.
Right. and it's only at that point you're reaching the eastern part of Ontario, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just gives you a good idea how big Ontario is. It's absolutely massive.
Oh, it's the whole country, right? It's that old thing. Halifax is closer to London than Halifax is to Vancouver.
That's right.
So,
Europeans, by the way, for context, it takes 6 hours to cross Spain from Madrid. If you're going east, or going west from Madrid, it takes 6 hours to cross Spain.
yeah.
Yeah.
It takes 2 days of driving to leave Ontario when you're heading west and staying in Canada. Two 10-hour days of driving to hit the Manitoba
because
border.
you have to go up over the lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how long does it take to get from Toronto to Thunder Bay? Because that's still in Ontario.
Thunder Bay, you could do it in about a 12-hour day.
Okay. 2,500.
So that Halifax thing, London, is that London in Canada?
No, London, England.
Really?
Yeah.
Canada's 5.5 time zones.
Yeah. It's actually, arguably, I'd say it's not that much different flying from Toronto to Vancouver than flying from Toronto to London, would you say? Or
It's about an hour difference.
Yeah,
So it's
hour
5.5 hours to Vancouver, 6.5 hours to London.
yeah, there you go.
Wow.
And it's
And quite often, it's cheaper to go to London.
and it's 2 hours Toronto to Halifax. So you can see there's your difference. It's about an hour longer to fly to Vancouver from Halifax than it is to fly to London from Halifax.
Yeah. Oh, Jayhawk says, got to go, guys. I was due to fly at 8:30, and I forgot it was Thursday, so I'll say night, safe landings, bye all. Jayhawk, great to see you tonight, mate. I hope you have a pleasant evening, and look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks, mate. Take care.
Yeah. See you, Jayhawk.
Good day. All good.
Okie dokie. Let's take a look behind us.
So there's a few.
So we got another tag now. We've got Gilly Z1.
Their citation way back away, so I'd say they're not with us.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
they're way
flying
back
at
there, okay.
F-18 a while ago. So
Okay. There's Peter down below us, and Kevin, I can see you.
Very good.
Nick down
there you
below
are.
in front. Nick's getting a right good close look at that river, the Ottawa River.
Sean, people have done it. People have walked across Canada. They've biked across Canada. We had one very famous guy who only had one leg after
Terry Fox.
losing one to cancer. Terry Fox
Terry
run
Fox, yeah.
from Halifax to just outside Thunder Bay, where unfortunately the cancer got worse and he passed away. But he was raising money. But he ran 8 hours a day.
I've got a Terry Fox story.
Okay.
I forgot. I haven't even thought about this in years. You remember I was talking about that a place we used to go up to near Haliburton.
Yeah.
We got passed by Terry Fox running by the car as we were going up there.
Pretty cool. I remember when he came to Toronto.
Yeah, just surreal. And it was just a huge entourage around him, of course, because a lot of people would run with him on different legs. So yeah, I actually saw him in the middle of the run, which was really, really cool. I can see your lights, Digital. I just can't see you.
Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It's fun,
It
though.
is what
Could
it
be
is.
something else, man, I think.
It is the Wonder Woman plane for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
It's
So
always
we're-
like always a bit of invisible cloak.
Yeah, we're heading towards a little town called, what's it called? Deep River. It's a little bit further down, but there's another little town just slightly inland from that called Chalk River.
Okay.
Chalk River is interesting because there's a nuclear processing plant there that creates all the radioactive isotopes used in Canada for medical testing.
Ooh.
So if you ever have to get like those MRIs or whatever where they do the injection with the nuclear tracers and stuff, that's where they're made. And they've got such a short half-life, they're made the day that you're getting them.
Oh, really?
And then they'd be flown directly out to the hospital to be used, yeah.
Oh, there's something I never knew. You're just full of information today.
I had to look it up because I knew I'd be required to provide stuff, so yeah.
Wow, you're going above the call of duty, I would say. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm looking forward for the pay increase for this.
Fair enough. There we go. Shondale says, Mag 3 scans radioactive tracers into the body to see how the plumbing works in the body. Yeah, so I guess it does have to have a short half-life for that matter. Sean also says, Willie, did you know about all the challenges that Kevin Sinfield has done for the MND charity? No. I'd be interested to know because I have been involved in MND. I was a trustee for ewansguide.com, which is an affiliate of the Ewan MacDonald Trust, which had close affiliation with the Dottie Weir Foundation. Of course, I don't know if you've had that news over there, Digital, but we lost, Scotland lost a great rugby player, Dottie Weir, to motor neuron disease just recently.
No, I was trying to figure out what you were talking about there. Yeah.
And but before, I think Dottie Weir was first diagnosed, I want to say about 5-6 years ago. And as soon as he found out about the diagnosis, he started up a foundation I think in total he's probably raised somewhere in the region of £10 million for motor neuron disease research.
Wow.
In fact, there's round about my area, one of the buses, double-decker buses that comes down, he used to wear a very distinctive kind of tartan. And the whole bus is painted in his tartan, and it says, "My name is Dottie" on the bus, with a phone number for the charity. So yeah, it's quite cool. So yeah, we certainly remember Dottie Weir. And I'll look up Sean. I'll look up Kevin Sinfield. But I think it's a fantastic cause. It has such a wide-reaching impact on so many sports athletes, and of course, just regular people as well. You know, it's just such a horrible, horrible, horrible disease. And I've seen what it does to people, and I know Hugh McDonald very well, who still lives with it. He's on a respirator 24 hours a day, and he does a lot for motor neuron disease as well. Sean says normally I have 18 months after normally 18 months after diagnosis of MND to live. Dottie did a lot more. Yeah, he was a fighter. He was a fighter, and I think that's one of the things that made a huge difference. They are making good headway with research. They're not at a point for any kind of firm treatments or anything like yet, but they are starting to make some. They've had some eureka moments in terms of research tests and things like that. So hopefully within our lifetime we'll see something come of it.
That's good. At least if not a cure, something that can stabilize it and prevent progression.
Yeah, absolutely. And the funny thing is, a lot of the research that they're doing has links to other similar diseases such as dementia, Alzheimer's, and also Parkinson's disease. So they reckon that any breakthroughs in any of those areas could actually lend well to assisting the research in the other area. So,
oh, that'd be good.
Because my heart goes out to a great Canadian, of course, Michael J. Fox. I mean, he's suffering terribly from Parkinson's.
Parkinson's, yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you see when he met with Christopher Lloyd?
Yes, I did.
Recently?
I did.
The first time they'd seen each other in a long time? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I did. And probably the last time. Arguably.
We just passed a little town called Deux Rivières, Two Rivers, which, funny enough, is on the Ontario side, so the English side of the border, but it's a French name.
Well,
and
of course, but especially towards Eastern Ontario, you do get Francophone Ontarians.
You do. Timmins is hugely Francophone, and some other places that are up on the border there. Again, this is very popular for canoeing and stuff like that. There's some rapids coming up. Which I've heard of, where they go and they do, you know when they do the whitewater challenges, the athletes, when they have those competitions, X Games and all that stuff. I think it's a place where some of the lower level people could go to learn and practice and everything. So, some natural rapids on the Ottawa River.
Very cool. I love rapids. I really enjoyed them when I was doing a lot of canoeing. You have to have your wits about you. But
You do, and I've seen a couple canoes go over. Which really sucks when you're carrying your backpacks and stuff in them.
Never happened to me.
So.
Yeah, never happened to me. But always had a good bowman. So if you got a good bowman, you're generally all right. And I always put them through. Anytime I have someone to bow, even my kids, I put them through a little bit of training before we start.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to get into the technical stuff now. I know it is a myth that all Canadians know how to canoe, by the way, but I think Digital, in your case, you're probably around my level as well. But yeah, a little bit of training at the front, and teach them how to pry, teach them how to draw.
Yeah.
how to sit, because sometimes everyone, you know how they have those little seats, and when you get in the rapids, everyone thinks you should be sitting in the seat. I'm like, no, just get on your knees. You're gonna fall out.
I know. It's why do you want to raise your center of gravity like that?
I mean, if you're just kind of paddling around when it's calm water, yeah, the seat's fantastic. But yeah, as soon as you get into the thick rapids, you get your butt off that seat. You get on those knees as quick as you can, because you need all your weight down low, especially if you're drawing or pulling. So just in case anyone wants to know, see if I got something that can demonstrate. So if the canoe's here and you tell someone to draw left, what you're actually asking them to do, I'm trying to do it reverse to the camera here, is they're going to reach out and pull the water towards the canoe, and this pulls the bow to the left as hard. And that's good for trying to get around rocks. Obviously, the sternman is going to be doing some different activities to try and pivot the boat, almost doing a bit of ruddering where he needs to as well. And then the opposite of that is pry. So if you say someone to pry left, they're basically digging with a paddle and they're pushing away. And drawing and prying, it all depends on what you're hitting, what's up in front of you. It usually involves trying to avoid hitting a big rock. I think that was the main motivator for me, Digital.
The big one they always beat into me was look ahead. It's much easier to avoid them when you've got the distance.
Yeah. You almost need to kind of plan your route as you're coming up.
Yeah.
Trying to spy as much obstacles in front of you and just kind of get a rough plan of where you're going to go.
But one of the things I loved the most was early morning, calm, out with your hot beverage of choice, mist on the lake, hearing the loons, the sun just coming up. It's absolutely fantastic.
Definitely. Oh, that's a different view.
So everything to the south of us is basically go a few miles and then you hit Algonquin Park, so it kind of curves around at this point. Everything to the north of us, or the left, is Quebec. And the river's slowly doing this curve around to the south where it's we're not going that far, but it'll go down past Petawawa, Pembroke, and then past Ottawa, and then down to the lake.
Beautiful.
Lake, well, not the lake, the St. Lawrence.
So, Kev, what's your impression of Ontario now?
It's stunning.
It's sunny.
Stunning. It's beautiful.
Oh, stunning.
Stunning.
It's the Irish accent. Yeah, it's not really a destination that crops up in people's minds when they think about Canada.
No. The thing that gets me about it, grew up here, but it's the space.
Yeah.
It can be, you can go for hours before you hit the next town. It's not a lot of places in the U.S. Outside of like Colorado where it's rugged, but when you get into the Midwest and stuff where it's on that plan, right? Every town, every 6 miles, and then all the farmers' fields and all that stuff, or New England, or like you get over in Britain where everything is so condensed and it's like 5 miles or 3 miles to the next village and stuff.
Yeah.
Out here, it's literally hours to the next place, and
that's the one thing that gets me, like with the road, like with the spacing here. It's just like at home, even on the motorway, it's a town every few minutes. But here, you've been playing along and you wouldn't see anything for hours and hours.
It's next exit 57 miles.
Yeah.
But it's the other thing that's really, really interesting is 80% of the Canadian population live within 100 kilometers of the U.S. border.
Yep.
So
Indeed.
When you look at all the populated areas, when you look at, I think it's half of the population of Canada lives within the Golden Horseshoe, right?
Yep.
So it's that St. Catharines around Hamilton and back to Toronto, up to Oshawa, around that Lake Ontario.
Don't forget Pickering.
You only have to drive an hour north to get into territory like this. and it is literally another 2,000 miles to go to get to the top of Canada up in the Arctic Circle, and it's nothing but this. So it's really amazing when you get a chance to see that and just see what it's like. Well, when I was in Yellowknife, I rented a beaver and we went for an hour trip up around just so I could get a view of the area from the air.
Yep.
And it's Yellowknife is literally this little outpost of humanity with just rocks, water, and not even trees, scrub. It's for hundreds and hundreds of miles. So it's a very, that's when you start to get a sense of just how big this place is.
I know. Yeah, making me homesick now.
Yeah, I know. All right, so you see up here, it's the river kind of splits, and then you've got the island type of thing on the left. Those are that narrow strip where the water actually goes to the left around there, then the river carries on. That's where those rapids are.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Let's catch up with the chat. Sean says he joined Dottie's Clubhouse a couple of years ago. Find a link for Kevin's challenges and post them. Yeah, that'd be great, Sean. Appreciate that. He says it must be amazing if you're an outdoor person, but if you're from the city in Europe, you'd stand out with your shop-bought clothes instead of made ones by locals. I don't know about that.
And bearskin, doeskin jackets and stuff over here. I mean, we did get electricity last year, so we're kind of modern.
Let me put it this way, Sean. When I was canoeing, I had an old pair of Nike sneakers on. No socks, but just the sneakers. That was my standard kit for being in the canoe, because you didn't go barefoot, because you had to jump out and you never knew what was going to be under your foot if you had to suddenly jump out of the canoe to pull it out or something like that. So, I mean, a lot of us come from the sea. I'm from Hamilton. Digital, you're from
Toronto.
Toronto, yeah. So, I mean, we're all kind of city guys anyway. But we just, as Digital said, you didn't have to go that far to get into this beautiful area.
Yeah, and I've spent a lot of time out here for work with the military. I spent a lot of time out in the woods and stuff, and it's different versions. Being out in the woods in Ontario is a lot different than down on the East Coast to the being out in the prairies woods. Or the Rockies. I mean, it's kind of like environment.
It's like Where's Waldo, but with guns.
Well, yeah, but it's just such a variety of experiences where you can go from mountains to flat prairie types to this type of environment, or the rugged East Coast.
So what's this town we're overflying now?
Rapide de Jacom.
Ooh, bless you.
So the Jacom Rapids. Not really much of a town, though.
Yeah, I kind of looked like a town at the start. Now I'm starting to see it's a bit more barren.
Yeah, kind of just a little collection of things. Training. It might be training facilities or something, but once we come around this corner and we start heading...
Is this military then?
No, I think like training for the rapids.
Oh, okay.
Like, for like summertime where they'd have all the kayaks and all that type of stuff.
Sean says, I just saw just that. I saw a video for a couple who traveled to the coldest place on earth, minus 60 degrees Celsius, and the locals told them that their bought clothes were all wrong. Yeah. Now that's a different thing entirely. If you're going up to the Arctic,
yeah.
I think they do have some coats that the military use, which are not pretty close to what you need, but a lot of the locals use
sealskin.
The sealskin, yeah.
Our stuff is pretty good, but the handmade local stuff is a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've had the privilege of being up in the Arctic in February.
All right, cool.
It was rather cold, and we tried on the what they wear, and oh god, it was a lot warmer than all the stuff we had.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
But really, when you get into temperatures minus 25 to minus 30 and below, you don't want to be outdoors. It is not pleasant.
Yeah.
Wing switching is bad enough.
There's an episode of Ice Pilots. I think it's called 40 Below. But it's 40 below is when you just start getting massive problems trying to get the airplanes going.
Yep, any engines.
Yeah.
Up and alert all the trucks for I think 8 months of the year. They leave them running 24 hours a day. They just park them outside, leave them running. Because if they don't, they turn into ice blocks, especially in the winter. There was once we were out. We were on a Winter X, and we were in tents and all that Arctic stuff that we do when we're mobile and that. And this is in Fahrenheit, but the temperature difference between outside of the tent and inside of the tent was 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Whoa!
It was minus 50 Fahrenheit outside, and it was 50 Fahrenheit inside the tent.
Wow, that's a good tent.
It was absolutely brutal. And hence my appreciation for winter has disappeared.
Yeah.
I just don't like doing
winter. Winter camping is. We did some winter camping up in Harrison Park in Owen Sound, and it had been planned for quite a while. Unfortunately, the weekend that we decided to go, it dropped to minus 27 at night, and I never ever want to camp in anything in that weather again.
Yeah,
it's just too cold.
It is.
Sean says, just like to say a couple things. Thank yous. Okay, a couple thank yous. Everyone that's been here for all your amazing... you're all amazing. All right, brilliant. Thank you, Sean. And he says, Just Flight for making an amazing plane for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Won't get any argument from us on that. This has been a great flight. Sorry, I forgot the name of the author. The author of the flight plan? So it was Digital Flight Deck. Is that who you're trying to think of? Still flying though. Just wanted to get the thank you before the hectic time landings. Yeah, no, that's great, Sean. Thank you so much. That's actually quite meaningful, and it's always great to hear that. Thanks for the feedback, mate. And thanks to Sean.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's always fun, and even on my streams, I say the same thing. It's the community, right? It's all about flying with people who enjoy the flights and flying to different areas together and experiencing it. So that's all about it. So here we have Deep River, the town, and the Deep River Airport. Willie, you've just flown past it. And then slightly inland is Chalk River, where that nuclear processing plant is.
Oh, sorry, I'll see if we can find the river. Hang on. All right, okay. Is that the one that branches off there?
Well, no, it's the town of Deep River.
Oh, the town of Deep River. I beg your pardon, sorry.
Yeah, you just flew past it. There it is behind you.
Okay.
And then if you go inbound on the road a little bit, you come to the little town of Chalk River further in, and that's where that nuclear processing plant is.
Oh, okay.
Stuff.
Right, with you. Very
Thanks,
cool.
Nick. Appreciate you throwing that in there. So we're now coming up to an interesting area.
Okay.
We're going to be coming down here, and the river's going to make a bit of a hard right turn.
Okay.
And what you can kind of see it in the distance, right? And where it widens out a little bit on the right, which is the eastern side, is the Canadian Forces Base Petawawa, which is a large military base.
Is that not the largest base in Canada?
No, that's Wainwright out of Alberta.
Oh, okay. But it's quite sizable.
It's sizable. It's where the armored and the artillery are and all that stuff. Spent a lot of time out there as well. Just past that is the town of Pembroke, and in between the two is the Pembroke Airport. That's our destination.
Okay.
Petawawa doesn't have its own airfield. They do for helicopters, but not fixed-wing aircraft. So they use the Pembroke Airport. This was the home of the Airborne Regiment. So the Pembroke Airport, a civilian airport, used to get all the Hercs flying in and picking up the airborne guys for their jumps and everything
cool.
when they were doing it. So a lot of military traffic actually does fly out. When the U.S. military comes up to do training here, they fly into Pembroke Airport, and their lifters and stuff would go in there as well. But it is a civilian airport, and I've flown in there in Cessnas and stuff as well. So
that's very cool. Can't wait to see it.
So you should be able to. I'm wondering what the base is going to look like, because there's huge areas that are deforested that are like the heavy weapons areas, the artillery impact areas, and stuff like that. There's almost no trees there anymore. So I'm wondering if you can make that out.
It looks like something on Volanta. There's like a big barren bit all of a sudden. I'm wondering if that's it.
Yeah, probably. It's the other interesting thing here. There's an electronic warfare squadron here, and you'll sometimes see NOTAMs pop up, warning of possible GPS interference when they're doing jamming stuff.
Oh, right, that's neat. I love that.
Yeah, they give you warnings that your GPS may not function within 50 miles of here.
Well, Sean says thanks for a great flight plan and all the info.
I am a fountain of useless information.
Oh, hardly. It's been. I mean, I'm from Ontario, and even I learned stuff today. So, no, thanks for everything. It's been really interesting. A lot of things that I didn't know. Look at that.
I think it was HD actually was talking about it the other day, because obviously in Europe at the moment there is a lot of GPS blocking going on.
Eastern Europe, I guess.
Yeah, and even HD was saying the other day that there's NOTAMs going out all the time about possible GPS blocking, and to be aware of it and to report it. And,
yeah, interesting.
And it's just flights over Europe, you know.
Wow.
All right, so Willie, you should be about to make that turn.
Yep.
And then when you kind of straighten out, you'll be heading right for Petawawa. Now, there's a town of Petawawa.
Yep.
And then there's the military base,
Excuse me.
which is basically like butts right on to one end of the town, and then just carries on from there. Yeah, you can see it. So if you look straight down along that edge there, on that eastern edge, you can see that wide open area.
Yep.
De-treed and everything. That's part of the training area.
Oh, okay.
And there's
with the small lake in the middle of it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of small small arms ranges on the northern side, and then you've got the highway that runs there, and then the base continues on the other side of the highway, and on the other side of the highway is where all the heavy weapons stuff is. So you can see how that's discolored. Yeah. On the other side of the road there, that's where the artillery impact area is, and they do all kinds of boom stuff out there.
That's awesome.
Of course, that's a no-fly area.
With good reason, I would think.
Serious no-fly. They have jets doing strafing runs out there and everything.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
I guess they're practicing for close air support?
No, not so much that. It's more the anti-air guys are based out of here, so they come out and they play aircraft for the anti-air guys. So they've got all their anti-air missile systems out. So they come out and they play target. And then this is also the home of the helicopter squadron that supports the special forces guys. So they do a lot of sneaking and peeking and low-level helicopter operations and stuff out here as well. So there is a bunch of aircraft that are out flying around out here.
Very cool. There's a lot of kind of cool terrain there as well.
So what?
A lot of neat terrain kind of surrounding.
There is. A lot of hills, and again, you can see it's a fairly big area here, and then there's the town on the southern side there.
Oh yeah, well Petawawa. I knew Petawawa was quite large.
Oh, yeah, it shows up really, really nicely.
It does. I think this is the final lakes. We're about
We're not far from the airport now.
7 miles.
Yeah, it's just on the other side of town. It's closer to Petawawa, but they call it the Pembroke Airport.
Okie dokie. I just had a last minute think about fuel, but I think I'm alright.
So,
5
yeah.
gallons? Yeah.
Spent a lot of time down there on that base over the years.
A good friend of mine also spent a long time there. Yep.
So 532-foot airport elevation, 5,000-foot runway. And
Okay,
it's
well, I see it there,
basically 3315-ish.
Oh, I see it. Right. Okay.
So you get combat fighters on that runway? Is it big enough for that?
Which?
Combat fighters on in Pembroke? You
No.
ever see them there?
No,
Just,
I've
just,
only seen
cargo.
I've only seen Hercs, and yeah, Hercs are the biggest thing I've seen in there. Although I did fly in here Civvy one day, and I saw a bunch of firefighting equipment. They were fighting fires further north, so there was helicopters and some small twin-engine turboprop dump planes and
All right, that's
and
cool.
stuff. They were in doing their thing. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty much a self-contained city almost, isn't it?
Base, it is.
Yeah. It's got shopping
home to-
centers, cinemas.
Home to thousands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of the guys are now stationed over in Europe and Latvia and stuff right now with
Yeah.
dealing with everything.
That's right.
There's a big construction site at the end of the runway. Wow.
Yeah, this is the town we're over now.
Really interesting. They're all going quiet as we come in the landing phase.
I'm doing a flyover. I'm gonna buzz Nick
Okay.
and peel around for proper landing.
Oh. Did you see that butter? Oh.
I'm too far away, Nick, but it'll look good.
Oh yeah, it's good.
You're definitely on the
You
screen.
know me, if no one's around, it's perfect.
It is, yeah.
Nope. Yeah, I just got buzzed.
It's hard to do a fighter pilot arrival when this thing is not a fighter.
See how far up north we are, because the sun's setting already.
Yeah, it's. I think we're getting about 9 hours of daylight around now. It's not a lot. I mean, it was a lot where I think because I was over in Northern England on the 21st of December, and I think I took a look, and it was 7 hours and 52 minutes of daylight, which is makes for a very short period of sunlight.
Let's see if we can get the game coming in here. Oh, missed everyone again. Might get Sean.
You'll get me. I'm coming in last, I think.
The Wonder Woman Jet, yeah.
Yeah, I've disappeared again.
Sean's looking good. Looks like Sean might have had a greaser, actually.
Seems like it.
Soft landing. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm gonna get
Finish
a...
anyways, 84 foot per minute.
Well, is that what it says on... Sorry, yeah, I'm a bit of a traffic jam up, guys. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, let me shut forward.
Get Digital in. Here comes the Wonder Woman jet.
Yeah, looking good.
All I can really do is check his centerline performance here.
If even.
I think he might have done slightly better than me. Brilliant. Alright, let's go find somewhere to park. Hang on.
Yeah, my low beer warning light's on.
Low beer? Oh, Nick's already picked out a nice spot for us.
Very good.
So, Willie, hopefully I can make a few more of these Thursday flights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to
it's been
change
an
my priorities a little bit this year, so...
Absolute blast, and maybe hopefully we can return the favor one day as well. As long as it's not a DC-6. Well, having said that, I don't have to fly I can fly anything, really.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 146 plays kind of around the same speed. I was most of today when I was looking for plane to play. Minus 11 foot per minute shot, jeez.
Well, I didn't have Volanta on, so...
Oh.
Mine's a mystery.
Well, Willie, on Wednesdays, next week we're starting our tour of England, and we'll be flying the DC-3s, so...
Okay, well, I might not join you in the DC-3, but I'll... because tail draggers are the bane of my life.
About the same streams.
Yeah, but I can certainly find something comparable to join you.
Something speed-wise, yeah, comparable.
Yeah. And can we also give a big, huge welcome and thank you to Peter, who's joined us today. So, Peter, I hope you enjoyed flying with us, and I look forward to seeing you again. Kevin, what are we doing next week? Do you have any idea?
We're in China and heading to
Oh!
Hong Kong, if I remember right.
Cessna 310, isn't it?
C310, yes.
Yes, yeah, so next we're going to be flying the Cessna 310 in China. Never been to China yet, so we're really looking forward
We
to
haven't.
that.
And
And
where we're headed?
Hong Kong?
Yes,
I'll
Hong
let
Kong.
you say where. I'll let you say where.
Kai-Tak Airport.
Yes, which was reintroduced with the 4th anniversary patch.
Yeah,
along with some
it'll
other...
be an interesting approach.
It will, yeah, it will be. It'll be great. Right, Digital. Once again, it's been a sesh. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thanks for coming along to do me.
Gordon, welcome. Thank you. Good playing with everybody.
Yeah, but I'll say a quick goodbye. Kev, obviously you've been working hand in hand with Digital to get all this organized, so thank you very much, Kev. I think it's
No worries, thank you.
turned out to be a really, really fun stream as well.
Excellent.
Huge thank you to Sean Dale. We had corporate pilot data. I think Tim had to leave at one point, but a big thank you to him for flying in part of the journey today. And huge welcome to Peter as well, who's joined us today. Peter Jude, flying with us along pretty much half the route, I would say, halfway in. Mazda Base was in there as well. A big thank you to him, and Leith, who dropped in to say hello. J-Hug, of course, had to leave as well. A big thank you to him for watching tonight. Nick, always great to have you on board as well, mate. It's nice to see you in the rear view or in the front view. Yeah. Yeah, a good evening to you. And once again, Digital, really appreciate all your time, and have a great night.
You're welcome.
And with that, bid you farewell. We will see you next week right here on Positive Rate at Thursday, 1900 Zulu. We'll be doing a flight around China. You can grab yourself the Cessna 310 from Blackbird Simulations. It is available on Orbix, or you can use any old fast plane that can go about 160 knots. So I think the Cessna Caravan can pull that off in the stock aircraft, or if you have the Just Flight Turbo Aero, that will work. Or even something like the Carinado Seminole, I think will do pretty well as well. So anything twin engine, anything you can find, do join us, and we're going to see the great land of China, and ultimately end up in Hong Kong as well. With that, I'll bid you all farewell. Thank you very much for sorry, Sean's saying Navion? What's he mean, Navion? Does anybody know what he's on about? Don't know.
I think Navion's an aircraft, but
Oh, damn. Oh, right. Okay. Sean, I'll just say yes. I'll just say yes. You might show up as something else. Before you, right? Okay, there you go. Yeah, I don't have that one, but yeah, sure. Sounds good. I think it sounds sufficient. Anyway, with all that being said, again, a second thank you to Sean Dale for the donation today, which really helps out the stream. And do join us in the Discord community if you haven't already. Links are in the show description. Do check out our sponsors, Just Flight, Orbix, and Sky Blue Radio, all fantastic supporters of Positive Rate. And we'll see you here next week on Thursday at 1900 Zulu. All the best, folks. And we wish you a good night. Keep the blue sky up. Take care.